Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى لا سيما المصطفى صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Dear viewers everywhere, welcome to a new episode of Ask Huda. Our phone numbers, in a quick reminder, beginning with the area code are 002023855, 248 or 249, and the email addresses are ask@huda.tv and gardens@huda.tv. We have Sister Rayyan from the USA. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh Salah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the program, Sister Rayyan.
Yes, first of all, barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullahu khairan for the whole team. I have just one question. What is the kafara if husband made intimate relationship while she was fasting in Ramadan? And what is the kafara for that? And are there other kafara mentioned in Quran about others relating other matters?
Okay.
You get my question, Sheikh?
I did, Sister Rayyan. Thank you so much. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Number one, wafikum barak and wajazakillahu khairan. May Allah bless you too. And thank you so much for the compliment. What is the ransom for having an intimate relationship with one's spouse during the day of Ramadan, where they must be fasting? Because if they are traveling, they're exempt from fasting, there is no penalty. But if they should be fasting, and the husband forced his wife, if she was forced to have such a relationship without her compliance, then only the husband is required to pay the ransom. And the ransom is very severe in proportion with the sin. So is it a sin? It's a very big sin. It's a major sin. It's a major sin. Much even bigger than skipping fasting in Ramadan. So the ransom will be to fast for 2 consecutive months. And the person must turn to Allah with sincere repentance. Fasting for 2 consecutive months. And if not, if the person is not physically able to, like he is in a condition which does not allow him to fast, it will not be possible to achieve so, then feed in 60 masakeen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum. Our next caller, Brother Hamid from the KSA. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hamid.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, sir?
I'm just fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking, Brother Hamid.
I wish you and your family all the best.
MashaAllah, thank you so much. Same to you. May Allah bless you and your family and all the viewers. Ameen.
Thank you so much. I have 3 questions.
Naam.
Back home in the subcontinent, when a newborn baby, we say adhan and iqamat in their ears. Is it sunnah? The first thing. The second thing is, can it be done by a female if the male is not available? My second question is that, can we bring along a little baby who is 1 to 2 years old?
Brother Hamid, we lost connection with you.
Okay, can we bring along with us a little baby?
Brother Hamid, can you bring what with the little baby?
Okay, the baby is 1 to 2 years old.
Okay.
Can we bring her or him, who is wearing a diaper, inside the mosque?
I see. Okay.
Now the third question is that some people carry their cell phones inside mosque and disturb others with their ringing tones. They even call and receive calls also. Many people don't even spare haram and are seen taking pictures of sisters making different poses inside haram. I fail to understand how they expect to receive good pleasure of Allah doing such things in His houses.
Naam.
Allah says, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ.
Sahun.
Do they fall in this category?
Okay.
Please
Barakallah.
advise them to leave their cell phones out of these sacred places or ensure switching them off before entering mosque. Jazakallah khair.
Wajazakum. Thank you, Brother Hamid. Brother Mustafa from the KSA is next on the line.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Mustafa, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, Sheikh. How are you?
I'm just fine. Thank you for asking.
Alhamdulillah, Sheikh. Sheikh, I have two questions. The first question is during Umrah. Okay, doing Umrah after in the process of Sa'i. Okay, if by mistake, if the eyelashes are just by mistake, if we remove the eyelashes, okay, is our Umrah valid? That is my first question. Okay, and the second question is during in between Tawaf and Sa'i. Okay, if you just give a break of 15-20 minutes, okay, just because of the health problems, okay, yeah, is it again the is the Umrah still valid, or do we have to pay any? Do we have to redo the Umrah?
Okay.
These are my two questions here.
Okay. Brother Mustafa, if the person happened to drop any hair, like simply by rubbing, by scratching, a hair that falls by accident and indeliberate, does not violate any sacredness in the ihram. There is no penalty whatsoever. Secondly, if the person is performing tawaf, then took a break in order to perform sa'i afterward, as you said, for health reason or otherwise, there is no problem whatsoever. Even taking a break in between the sa'i if you cannot afford to do it simultaneously or subsequently. Like, you do one round and you take a rest, that's fine. Similarly, if you can walk, you can simply take a wheelchair and do it while sitting down. Barakallahu fikum. Brother Ibrahim from Nigeria, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ahlan wa sahlan. Brother Ibrahim, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sheikh. I'm asking, what name should I use as my child's surname? Is it my name or my father's name?
Okay, you're talking about the last name or the surname?
Yes,
Yes, to what?
the surname.
The surname. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it my name or my father's name?
Okay.
I should use for my child as my child's surname.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Assalamu.
Thank you, Brother Ibrahim. Sister Abd al-Karim from the case A.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Huda.
Thank you so much. Sheikh, I have three questions.
Now.
The first one is, I have read it somewhere that we have to, the Prophet ﷺ, he used to pray before sleeping. And also I have that it's prescribed to once you wait for tahajjud.
Sister Abd al-Karim, we have a terrible connection. I cannot really recognize your question. Can you try again?
Is it clear now?
Yes, it is for the time being. Go ahead.
For the witr prayer, is it advisable to pray witr twice before going to sleep and once when you wake up for tahajjud, or it's just while you wake up for tahajjud?
Okay.
And then the question is, sometimes in the Arabic teachers tend to write Barakallah, something like that, mentioning Allah's name in the children's notebooks. So can we dispose of these once they are old, or have to preserve them?
Okay.
This is the second question.
Third question,
And
please.
the third question is allowed to make the one set for either for the evening. Can you make it up in the night, or for the morning? Can you make it up at around 11 or 12 o'clock if you don't have time like that?
You're talking about making up the witr prayer?
No, the azkar
Azkar,
for the morning
okay.
and the evening.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you make it up once it's night time or something for the evening and then more down Dhuhr?
Okay. Thank you, Sister
my question.
Abdul Kareem. Now, Brother Hamid from the KSA, it is recommended to call Adhan quietly, softly, in the right ear of the child. As far as the Iqamah, there is no sound reference, but some of the scholars recommend that as well, in order to make sure that the first words that the baby would hear is the remembrance of Allah, the magnification of Allah, the praises of Allah the Almighty. And it does have a great influence on the child. Okay? Accompanying your children with you to the masjid, age 1 and 2, wearing pampers. The problem is not with the pampers that they're wearing. Well, if they recognize that this is a sacred place and they should behave, there are some kids are like that. They behave themselves. MashaAllah, they're very nice. Everybody envy their parents for having them, no problem. But with naughty children who run between the rows and disturb everybody's prayers, and they break the glasses. You know, some people, they put their reading glasses or seeing glasses in front of them and they cause a chaos. You know, of course not. Because masajid should be maintained, and calmness, tranquility should be also maintained in the masjid. The purpose of bringing the child to the masjid is to get used to it, to observe the prayer, to recognize that this is our sacred place. I don't want to compare what happens in most of our masajid to what I have seen in many churches or synagogues, where there is a soundproof room, glass. They keep the children, it's a safe room, full of rubber toys. So the kids are being seen, and they see the parents in their worship. But no sound is coming from this direction. So you can keep an eye on them. Very simple practice. It will cost us nothing. When we started doing this in our Islamic centers in America, everybody was happy. You can bring your children. The mothers can bring their babies any age in order for the mothers to attend their ta'aleem, and meanwhile, they keep their eyes on the babies. With a very simple practice, we're not going to invent the wheel. We just need to learn how to roll it. Okay? But what we see of some people bringing the babies to the masjid and disturbing peace, especially in Taraweeh, and this is a long prayer. What do you expect from the Imam to wrap it up quickly? You know that is going to be a long recitation. So we have to look at it from this perspective. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Brother Muhammad from Egypt.
Muhammad.
Yeah, Muhammad, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
In fact, I'm so happy to hear your voice again.
You hear my sore throat voice. Alhamdulillah.
I'm so happy and pleased to hear your voice again, Dr. Muhammad. In fact, Dr. Muhammad, I have 3 perplexing and confusing questions. But for the narrowness of your program, I'd like to ask you only 2. Am I allowed to ask you 2 questions, please?
Yeah, go ahead, Brother Muhammad, please.
The first question pertaining or concerning a neighbor nearby who divorced his wife 3 times, and he wants to resume his marital life again. But as we all know, he is not allowed to resume his marital life except after she marries another man and has intercourse with him. Is it okay?
Okay. Your second question?
No, this is concerning, the first question is still going on, Dr. Muhammad. The question is, how does our neighbor, or how can he be able to resume his marital life
or gets his wife back, especially to live with his children, especially this is against to marry another man. This is against his traditions in the countryside or in our village.
Okay. I shall answer your question, inshallah, Brother Muhammad, inshallah. Brother Musa from Nigeria, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Ya Sheikh, may Allah improve your health and improve the health of all the Muslims.
Ameen, ameen.
My question is with regards to the use of ring, which is a sunnah on the finger. I've observed some Muslims either wear it on the right hand finger or on the left. What is the correct sunnah of wearing a ring?
Okay, the Prophet ﷺ did take a ring, and it has a seal which says Muhammadur Rasulullah, so it had double benefits, like adornment, and meanwhile it was his stamp, which he used to stamp his letters with, and he used to wear it in his right hand. So if you want to do that, that would be fine. Of silver, of course. Barakallah feek, Brother Musa. Cell phones in the masjid. Kiosks. This is one of the blessings which people meet with being ungrateful, with abuse, especially when they put some music tones or nasheed or even Quran. And what makes it really disturbing, when somebody puts a citation of the Imam of the Haram or a dua of somebody in Taraweeh, and while praying, it confuses us. You hear takbir, you hear invocations, and people are begging him, just silence your phone, turn it off, put it on mute. He says, this is Quran. I know this is Quran, but we're already reciting in the prayer. We're already trying to have khushu' in the prayer. This is called common sense. This is called common sense. Unfortunately, in the Haram, a lot of things which I would love to wake up one day and see that people would improve in their regards. No smoking. I would love to see actually penalty against smoking for any person who would smoke in the Haram. I would love to see that. But it's awful. Also, I would love to see no cell phones are allowed in the Haram, or at least make sure as they alert everybody what to take and what not to take inside the masjid, make sure that you turn your cell phone off or mute it. There's something, once again, I call it common sense. Whenever we're praying or whenever we're performing tawaf, it saddens me. Nowadays, people are distracted with many means of distractions. Some are looking at the towers, some are looking at the watch, and some are looking at the buildings, and some are listening to the phones, and another is talking to his honey. Honey, I'm in the 3rd round already, and he's giving her a report. Now I'm in the 4th, now I'm in the 5th. Come on. Come on. You should have seen the Prophet ﷺ clinging his chest and face against Al-Multazam and crying and saying to Umar al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, Ya Umar, huna tuskabu al-abarat. This is where people should cry, not play around. So if you wanted me to pay an advice to people who are going to perform Umrah or Hajj or go to any masjid, behave yourselves. This is Allah's house. We should respect the house of Allah because this is designed for the prayer, in order to offer the worship, in order to gain khushu'ah. As a matter of fact, one of the signs of the Day of Judgment, the approach of the Day of Judgment, when you see the masajid full of decorations, these are all means of distractions. Whenever we build our centers in America, we make sure that no distractions, plain walls. Plain walls. It is not an exhibition. This is, and the carpet, I made sure when we order the carpet, I don't want to see prayer rugs with minarets, with domes and drawings and, Islamic drawings and all of that, because these are all means of distraction, things should be plain in order to focus and gain khushu' in the salah. Barakallah fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Abu Safwan from Kuwait.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu fikum. I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
Jazakallah, Sheikh. Jazakallah, you have pointed a very, important aspect of this Hajj and Umrah. Because recently I saw there was one couple, the whole 7th round they were just busy on the phone. And one guy next to me, I heard he was talking in Urdu. They were talking about their property while they were doing tawaf. That was very sad. So Jazakallah, I think we have these kind of reminders in every program. Jazakallah. The second thing, and thank you for your advice to my daughter. She sent you about this Hamala for Hajj from the New York. So thank you very much and Jazakallah. My question, this has also come from Calgary to me. My son, he asked Dr. Salah, if the wali, he has authority to say no other than religion because of the ethnicity of the person. Can he say no or what otherwise?
Okay. Barakallah fi. Okay.
Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Khalil from Morocco.
Khadija. Assalamu alaikum.
Khadija from Morocco. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm just fine, alhamdulillah.
I hope that you are all of you fine, all the mashayikh of Huda TV.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for your wish. May Allah bless you and your family.
Thank you very much. I have just a simple question.
No.
Here in Morocco, we have like a bank, Islamic bank. And if you want to buy a home or a house, you have to take a credit from there. And you know the price of the home. For example, the price of the home is 16 million. And they buy it for you and they sell it for you. But they sell it with 100 million, for example. And you have to give them every month a part of money. Is it halal or haram?
Okay, Sister Khadija, follow me please. So you pinpoint to a house, you say, I would like to buy this house. The bank buys the house and it becomes their property. That's number one.
Yeah.
Then they resell it to you for a higher price, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, without interest, meaning they say they bought it for whatever price. They bought it for 90 and they said they will sell it to you for 100, 115 and you agreed to that. There is no mention of an interest rate or anything like that. Just a fixed price. That's Islamic. That's perfectly fine. Because for a business transaction to be free from usury, number one, that the seller must possess the property. The title of the property is in the possession of the bank. Not just, hypothetically, no. They actually possess the car, the vehicle, the house, the property, and now they will resell it to you for a new price that you both agree to on an installment that you can afford without interest. That is valid. Okay? If there is anything extra to what you said, you need to discuss it with me or email it, because I only answered in the light of your question. With regards to the Islamic banking system in the Muslim world, I don't want to talk about it. But many of those banks are only Islamic in the name, not in the actual dealing. Assalamu alaikum. Excuse me. Brother Asadullah from the KSA.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I'm fine. Barakallah feek, Brother Asadullah.
Sir, I want a clarification. See, during the past 14 to 15 months period, I am facing a losses of human being, okay?
Okay.
In the first instance, in Zilkhaidah 1433 Hijri, I lost my grandmother. Immediately after 4 months period, in Rabiul Awwal 1434, I lost my maternal auntie. Again, after 4 months gap in Shaban 1434, I lost my father.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Again, after 4 months gap in Muharram 1435, this Hijri, I lost my maternal uncle. Again, yesterday.
Akhi, who's left of your family members? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Yeah, I am very much upset and disturbed for this.
Oh, I would
15-month duration. I have lost so many people, even in the last night.
Brother Asadullah.
One more thing. In the last night, I lost one more aunt and a wife of my mother's brother. Yesterday night she passed away.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Can you say me what will be the reason behind this?
Yeah, of course I can tell you. But before, and because we got to take a short break, I would like to tell you one thing. When you said, I'm very upset about that, that's a very bad word, really. Yeah, you can simply say, I'm very sad. I'm very sorry. That's absolutely right. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ lost his only son, whom he loved so much, what did he say? He said, indeed, my heart is saddened. My eyes are shedding tears. Yet I do not say what would only please Allah the Almighty. So the word upset, no. Because upset, agonize, being pleased with Allah's decree. I can quote, a long list of ayat from the Quran. Take for instance of Surah Al-Baqarah. An answer to your question, Allah the Almighty says, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. You will be tried with different means of test. Fear, hunger, loss of properties, deficiency of provision, and loss of loved ones. Loss of loved ones, parents, children, brothers and sisters, spouses. And that happens simply because لِكُلِّ أَجَلٍ كِتَابٍ. Everything has a fixed term. So don't you think that somebody died before his or her term? No. It happened that they died at their exact fixed term. Nothing made them die earlier. Nothing could have postponed their death. Yes, you're tested, and the test is severe, and the trial is very tough, and the greater is the test, which is met with patience. The greater is the reward. So don't waste your word. It's an opportunity to harvest a magnificent word. Because look at the ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ, and give glad tidings to ones who show and endure calamities patiently. الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. You heard me every time you said, my aunt passed away, my maternal aunt passed away, my uncle passed away. I keep saying, إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون, because this is a divine advice in order to maintain and preserve a reward. What does it mean? We certainly all belong to Allah, and unto Him we shall return. And guess what? Soon, I'm not going to appear on the screen anymore. Why? Because I'm going to die. Right? And soon you're not going to be calling anymore because you'll be gone. When? We don't know. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every soul shall taste death. And also in another ayah, إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. Once their fixed term has come, the term of death, they neither postponed nor their death is brought forward an hour or a few minutes. That's it. And this fixed term was preordained for your whole family, for me, for you, and for all of us, even before we were born. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لا يستأخرون ساعة ولا يستقدمون. I went over time in the first segment, brother Asadullah, because I love you for the sake of Allah, and I know what you're going through, but the word was not befitting. So please seek forgiveness, and it is okay to cry, it is okay to weep, it is okay to feel sad, but not to say like this word, which could ruin the word of your patience. And guess what? Whoever died was supposed to die, and whoever will die is going to die, and nothing will stop people from dying. Nothing will stop calamities from taking place, but simply we just need to be happy and pleased with Allah's decree and decision. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back inshallah in a few minutes. Everybody please stay tuned.
Imagine that the Anbiya, they were the ones, they were the most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they had the hardest times.
He assumed that he had some kind of superiority and he was a better, more chosen, a better person because he had this wealth. And then you look at all the other people who had wealth, and some of them were the worst people. You had Fir'aun and Harun.
Reviving your niyyah time and again, that you're doing insincerely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Most of the youth, they think, oh, I'm going to pray when I'm old, it's okay, now I'll have fun in my life. Later on I'll work, I'll go on my bed, I'll pray 5 times a day. And all these things, they think that's later on in their life, and they don't know when they will die.
Amira, who's your role model?
Khadija radiallahu anha.
And why?
Because she was Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's wife, and she was the first lady to believe in Islam.
We can't just take knowledge and keep it as information. We have to transfer it into action. When he got up, he said one thing. Asalla nas? Did the people pray? In Hajj, for example, the primary example of how multiculturalism really looks like. All equal. I've got a dentist in Canada. Even though he's ripping holes in my teeth, he's got great akhlaq. I love visiting him. Identify the issue. Analyze it. Challenge it. And then try again. Because if you fail, big deal. Try again and keep trying.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. We have Sister Clara from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Clara. Hello?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Huda.
So, I am a new Muslim, and I want to ask about the dogs, if are allowed to keep the dog in the house. Not necessarily in the place that I am praying in, or maybe on the balcony in the other room. Is allowed or not?
Okay. How long you been a Muslim, Sister Clara?
Since 2 years.
MashaAllah. Congratulations, and may Allah keep you steadfast. You're most welcome to have any other pet other than dogs. Cats and kittens are very lovely, beautiful. If you guys like rabbits, but they smell, otherwise, keeping dogs at home is absolutely forbidden. Their impurity is beyond imagination. I can spend the remaining time from a medical point of view, give you serious warning against keeping dog and their saliva at home and so on. But in brief, in a way, or besides the medical warnings that the Prophet ﷺ said, that keeping a dog at home as a pet, for instance, decreases a huge amount of your reward. It rains like a qirat. A qirat is a huge mountain of reward every day. In addition to a house which contains a dog, the angels never enter it. So sister, please let go of that dog. And as I said, you can start developing the love to have a pet such as a cat, for instance. And may Allah keep you steadfast on His straight path. Thank you, Sister Clara. Sister Khulud
Assalamu alaikum.
from Jordan. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Khulud. Wa
Wa
alaikum.
alaikum assalam. How are you, Dr. Muhammad?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. Thank you for all your programs. May Allah bless you.
Ameen. Thank you, Sister Khulud. Barakallah fikum.
Thank you. Dr. Muhammad, did you please tell us or talk about patience, how to be patient, how to be pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what has decreed?
Naam, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sister Khulud. But I bet I won't be able to discuss it in detail during this episode. MashaAllah, I could hear the phone ringing over and over. And meanwhile, I discussed this in a whole series, the series of Gardens of the Pious. And it's already online. We have a channel that is called on YouTube called Gardens of the Pious. I spent several episodes speaking about patience. And tomorrow, inshallah, we do have on Monday at, I believe, from 6 to 7 Mecca time, the live episode of Gardens of the Pious. Also, we take live calls and questions to be answered in the next segment, in the second segment of Gardens of the Pious on Mondays and on Wednesdays. But inshallah, if I do have a chance, I will get to talk about it. In brief, if I have to give you an advice in very short term, Sister Khulud, what if you do not show patience? Like, somebody says, I'm very upset with God. I'm very whatever. Would that ever fix whatever affliction took place? Like somebody lost his son. A woman got divorced. Somebody lost his most beloved person. And now he says all the awful words. Would that bring back the person whom he loved to life? No. Would that fix the glass after it got broken? No, it won't. So when you think about it logically, it will not be fixed. It could not have been avoided. This is Allah's decree. And it is the sixth article of faith. If you don't believe in the divine preordainment and the divine decree, one is not a Muslim. Simply. So whenever accidents and calamities take place and the person takes advantage of this situation by showing patience, by being pleased with Allah's decree, and this is the topmost part of patience, then he will be rewarded. So you can convert the calamity into a virtue. Take for instance, I said I want to talk about it for too long, but Salama, may Allah be pleased with her. Please do your homework and read about Salama, read about her biography, check it out online, and Abu Salama, how much they loved each other. And when she lost her husband, she said the first part, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Then she said, I remember that the Prophet ﷺ taught us to say, Oh Allah, reward me for my patience, my calamity, and give me better than what I lost. Allahumma ajurni fi musibati wa akhluf li khayran minha. Then she said, I talked to myself and I said, and who could be better than Abu Salama? Then again I convinced myself and I said, Subhanallah, if the Prophet of Allah said so, then I must say it. Then, once her iddah was over, 4 months and 10 days, the Prophet ﷺ sent to her one of the companions to propose to her, to marry her. And she indeed became one of the mothers of the believers. Isn't the Prophet ﷺ better than Abu Salama and better than the whole world? Yes. Put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I teach my kids, when you break a plate or a glass, you're calling from Jordan, and I can tell that you know Arabic very well. What do they say? You know what they say. And you know what they say in the West? Whenever they break something, it's like, in order to entertain the person and not to make him feel sorry, like, go to hell, or, similar words in Arabic. Say, no. Why should you say that? Something like that happened. You get a flat tire, you break a glass, you lose something, right away say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Why? In order, number one, to maintain their word. Because if you say it later, when you calm down, there is no reward. As the Prophet ﷺ said, إنما الصبر عند الصدمة الأولى. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Muhammad from the case, eh?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa
I live in Makkah, and most of the time I pray in Haram.
MashaAllah.
During the first prayer, when Imam finished the prayers, people started to pray Sunnat in the Mataf area. How to cross them and how to pass by them. It is very difficult. They are around the Mataf and then they are started to pray. Is there any way we can avoid that one or what to do? I just like to have advice.
Yes, I feel a lot of pain when I see these practices. And I would like to educate the entire Ummah. That's why we filmed the program of Hajj step by step. Then we followed that with another program about Hajj. And the program is aired on the Saudi Airline and on many places in order to educate people. You just need to watch. You just need to be educated. إنما العلم بالتعلم. Let me share something with you. I love to kiss the black stone. I love to adhere to the Kaaba. But I'm not very keen to do that. Meanwhile, step on somebody's toe, or hurt somebody, or push or shove somebody. When you see a woman fighting, literally fighting, to kiss the black stone, do you think that will please the Prophet ﷺ or make Allah happy with her? On the contrary. When you see people squeezing each other, for what? It's a sunnah. While keeping peace in the haram is a fard, and in any masjid. Now, people who, without thinking, only they think about themselves, they're being very selfish. They want to pray where? Especially those muscular people, if there are 5 or 6 or 10 together, so they occupy a whole area, and they let one by one pray, and they interrupt the whole mataf. I personally like when I enter the haram, I go to the roof. And my favorite place is the first row by the fence where I could lay my eyes on the Kaaba, particularly when the haram before the construction have started. I used to sit in the same place where Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to sit. His preferable place was between Al-Rukn al-Yamani and the black stone corner, because he will be facing the Kaaba and Al-Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, which is occupied by the Jews, just to remind the Muslim Ummah and the Muslim rulers. Okay. Now, why do I take this step? Alhamdulillah, I've been to the haram repeatedly, right? Most of those people, they're first timers. Give them a chance. Also, out of common sense, when people go to perform Hajj or Umrah, and you see people, for innocence, in the Umrah, you are in the Umrah and see people doing sa'i wearing the regular clothes. What does it mean? It means they're just walking around. They're not 1 or 2 or 3. There are many people. You know that in order to perform Umrah and do sa'i, you must be in Ihram. So what do? Just walking around, wandering around, taking the safe runs, occupying a room which could be given to somebody else. Now we perform your Umrah, sit back, enjoy praying in the Haram, even, away from the Kaaba in order to pray in peace. Barakallahu feek. Quickly, in order to wrap it up, Sister Abdullah, Brother Ibrahim from Nigeria, your son should bear your name. In some countries, they require the surname to be the last name, يعني the family's name. If this is the case, but your name is listed, like they say the middle name, fine, but your name should not be dropped. Like Abdullah ibn Muhammad ibn Salah. Nowadays they don't use the word ibn, but who's the father? Muhammad. And who's the grandfather? Salah, for instance. Abdul Karim from the case say, can one pray witr twice, like once before going to sleep, in case that he or she doesn't get up? Then when they get up and to pray, they pray witr again? No. The Prophet ﷺ said, La witrani fi layla. You should not be praying two witrs in one night. So if you prayed earlier and you got up and you happen to pray, you don't have to repeat your witr. Making up the adhkar of the morning past sunrise or at 11 or even later, similarly, the adhkar of the evening after sunset, yes, you should make it up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Surah Al-Imran, وَاذْكُرْ رَبَّكَ كَثِيرًا وَسَبِّحْ بِالْعَشِيِّ وَالْإِبْكَارِ. These are the favorite time for this adhkar, morning and evening. But if you didn't get to do it, make it up. A dhikr is always good at any time. And the Prophet ﷺ said to one of the companions in the very comprehensive advice, always keep your tongue busy with the remembrance of Allah. When we write the name of Allah in our notebooks, in spires, or our children, then we're not allowed to dispose it in the trash. Rather, any books, newspaper, or spires which have statements of Allah or His name or any of His names or ayat or ahadith should be burned. This is how you dispose them. Brother Muhammad from Egypt, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, الطلاق مرتان. These are the revocable divorces, first and second. Then He also said, when He said, فَإِمْسَاكٌ بِمَعْرُوفٍ أَوْ تَسْرِيحٌ بِإِحْسَانٍ. Afterward, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, in case that the person divorces his wife, the third time it will be irreversible. فَإِن طَلَّقَهَا فَلَا تَحِلُّ لَهُ مِن بَعْدُ حَتَّى تَنْكِحَ زَوْجًا غَيْرَهُ. I don't care whether he's from the countryside and he would not accept that. She's not lawful to him anymore. Permanently. It will not be permissible for him to take her back, even with her consent, even if they process a new marriage contract. And this is a severe penalty. Why? Because he was not wise enough to know how to utilize the right which Allah gave it to him. So in this condition, what is the solution? حَتَّى تَنْكِحَ زَوْجًا غَيْرَهُ. Until she marries somebody else. Not pre-planned. Pre-planned, both will be cursed. The Prophet ﷺ cursed al-muhallil wal-muhallal lahu. The person who would marry temporarily just to fake it, so that he will divorce her in order to be lawful for her first husband. No, it will not work. And even if they get married, it would be adultery. Temporary marriage in Islam is adultery. Marriage has to be established on the basis of permanency. So if she marries somebody else, regular marriage, and if it happens that it didn't work out and he divorced her and her iddah is over, now it will be permissible for her first husband that if they are interested to remarry again from the scratch with the guardian consent, with the dowry, and so on. Not because he's from the countryside that he does not think that his wife can marry somebody else. She's not his wife anymore. She's not lawful to him, not even to touch her hand. She's absolutely forbidden to him. Unless, if whatever I discussed happened. Abu Safwan, al-wali, and ethnicity. The Prophet ﷺ said, in brief, إِذَا جَاءَكُم مَّن تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَأَمَانَتَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوا تَكُن فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ عَرِيضٌ. If one proposes to your daughter, whom you trust his amana, his religious commitment, and his manners, then you should facilitate this process and give him your girl in marriage. If you don't, then that is going to lead to the widespread of corruption and mischief on earth. So if the person is righteous, then why not? You know, in Islam, there is no ethnicity, there is no color, there is no superiority for white over a black or a white or an Arab over a non-Arab. As you know that the followers of Islam from the early stages of Islam came from very diverse background. Bilal was Abyssinian slave, and Suhaib was a Byzantine Roman, and Salman was Persian, and subhanallah, this is the ummah. خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Indeed, the most noble of you is the one who is most righteous. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all righteousness and make us amongst the righteous ones. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me